Well, thank you indeed, Shaz and Nesser, and to the Knight Foundation, to everybody from Miami-Dade County College, and to all of you for joining us today. For the book business, this summer was a season of discontent. Amazon, the giant online retailer, and Hachette Book Group, publishers of the Little Brown imprint, among others, had locked horns. At stake were the terms for doing business moving forward. Hachette executives wanted the power to set prices for their books, and Amazon recoiled at being deprived of its trademark deep discounts. While the negotiations went on behind closed corporate doors, authors and readers saw a new and many thought darker side of Amazon. Hachette books became listed at full price or even as unavailable, and when readers did order such books, they learned delivery would take weeks. Even Amazon's recommendation engine got involved, frequently suggesting alternatives to Hachette titles. Authors, and not only Hachette authors, responded with condemnation of Amazon as a monopolist and a bully. In the shadow of the Ukrainian civil war then raging, Jeff Bezos was even likened to Vladimir Putin. Frustrated readers soon began to reconsider their relationship with Amazon, and by extension with the digital marketplace. Even Wall Street wavered in its long-standing support of Amazon's stock. The share price has fallen nearly 20% off its 52-week high. Now, just 10 days ago, the two sides announced a deal that will allow Hachette to set its own prices, but which Amazon says also encourages the publisher to deliver lower prices. In other words, both publisher and retailer have declared victory and gone home. Yet the book community, publishers, authors, and readers may not be prepared to let them go. At the National Book Awards on Wednesday evening last week, writer Ursula Le Guin chastised publishers who put profit before art, even as she called Amazon a profiteer. And she also called on her colleagues in writing to rise up against the prevailing order. She said, "Books aren't just commodities. The profit motive is often in conflict with the aims of art. We live in capitalism. Its power seems inescapable, but then so did the divine right of kings. Any human power can be resisted and changed by human beings. Resistance and change often begin in art," she said, "very often in our art, the art of words." Our panel today will consider that challenge to take up resistance in the digital marketplace. And we will ask, if the future of writing, publishing, and reading lies in a digital world, who gets to decide what that world looks like? And joining me for that discussion, I want to introduce from the very far end, Andrew Albanese, senior writer of Publishers Weekly. Andrew, welcome. Andrew is the author of the Kindle ebook single, Battle of 999, How Apple, Amazon, and the Big Six publishers changed the ebook business overnight. Andrew Albanese has covered the publishing and information technology fields since 1999 and is a former editor with Oxford University Press and Reagan Books. To his right is Franklin Foer. Frank, welcome. Franklin Foer is editor of The New Republic, which is celebrating its centennial in 2014. He is editor of Insurrections of the Mind, 100 Years of Politics and Culture, an anthology of essays culled from the TNR archives. Founded by Herbert Crowley and Walter Lippmann in 1914, The New Republic gave voice to the growing progressive movement and became a leading left-wing voice in American politics and culture. Frank Foer's international bestseller, How Soccer Explains the World, An Unlikely Theory of Globalization, has been translated into 27 languages. And then to his right is Astor Taylor. Astor, welcome. Astor is a writer and documentary filmmaker, author of The People's Platform, Taking Back Power and Culture in the Digital Age, which was a New York Times Book Review editor's choice. Her films include Zizek, a feature documentary about the world's most outrageous philosopher, broadcast on the Sundance Channel, and Examined Life, a series of excursions with contemporary thinkers. And finally, to my left here, Oren Teicher. Oren, welcome. Oren became CEO of the American Booksellers Association in 2009. Founded in 1900, the ABA at bookweb.org is a not-for-profit trade organization for independently owned bookstores. at the ABA for nearly 25 years. Oren's worn many hats. He was the Associate Executive Director, Director of Government Affairs, and Chief Operating Officer, and in 2013, PW named Teicher and the ABA Board the PW Person of the Year for their role in leading the resurgence of independent book selling. So indeed, a warm welcome to all the panel. And Andrew Albanese, I'd like to start with you because I sketched very briefly the impasse that came to everyone's attention this summer. I wonder if you could fill in the details a little bit more. How did we get there, and what does it mean, or what did it mean at that time to the book business?
How did we get here? Well, I'm assuming most of you have some idea. I've been following the Amazon-Hachette dispute. And let me just ask a quick question of you first. Over the course of this discussion and debate, how many of you would say you sided with Hachette? Show of hands. And how many of you would say that you were siding with Amazon? Okay. And most of you, I assume, are thinking it's a little too complicated to pick one side or the other. And I'm not asking this so I can pander my argument to you, but...
Right. But it's interesting to me, if I could say, Andrew, that there were more show of hands for the publisher's side of things than for Amazon.
Oh, you're good if you can count that quickly. Good, good.
It seemed that way to me, absolutely.
Well, here was as somebody who covered this for Publishers Weekly and who's been covering the industry for a long time, I was a little disappointed in the way this all unfolded over the summer, because it was pitched to us sort of as this battle for the future of the book. And in reality, what it was a negotiation between two parties. And we knew how that negotiation was going to end. It was going to end with a deal, and as public as the debate has been, it was going to end with a private deal that's confidential, that we don't know exactly what's in that contract. And that was a little frustrating to me, because I believe that we need to have a good conversation about the future of digital reading. We have to talk about digital rights management and data and libraries and all of these things, but the confidential end to this public book debate made me think that we're a long way from getting that conversation. So I was a little disappointed that we didn't have a broader conversation about the future of digital reading when we had the chance, and I hope we still can have that conversation. But now that Amazon and Hachette have ended their negotiation with the deal, and everyone's supposedly just thrilled with it, I wonder where we go from here.
Right. Well, Andrew, I was asking how we got here because for a number of years the book business has been selling books via Amazon. They've had a relationship going back to really the very beginning of e-retailing. Why now? Why did this come to an impasse this year? It's about ebooks, really, I think.
It is about ebooks, and I will put it this way. We often refer to Amazon as a retailer, but in reality, Amazon, when it comes to ebooks, is a platform. They invested heavily in inventing the Kindle, and they really did create the commercial ebook market that we now enjoy today. And that's been a net plus, I think, for people, that we now have this commercial ebook market. How we manage that commercial ebook market is difficult, and we're having a little bit of a rough start at the beginning here, no question. So I think what the real problem was that, well, if we're going to talk about Amazon in terms of monopoly, then we also have to talk about the big five publishers in terms of being a cartel. They control 90% of the bestseller list. One company controls 50% of the bestseller list. So I think it's appropriate to ask the question, where would the commercial ebook market be if it was just left to those five publishers? Well, it probably wouldn't be where it is now. So I think what we're seeing is sort of the beginning stages of a longer battle over who's going to or how we're going to access digital books.